kind of want to take a picture of like how ridiculous this looks, so you can see
Do it.
why it's annoying.
While you're doing that, I think we're live.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, how are you doing? Good evening and welcome to Emergency Hedge. This is the channel where Jessica teaches me Netrunner.
And Dave teaches me how to play Arkham Horror, and also I take pictures of how my screen is being weird in a way that's annoying me.
Yay!
But it is of no material consequence, but is annoying me. There we go. I've been annoyed by it. I shall move on with my life.
How are you doing, Jessica? Aside from being annoyed by your screen.
I'm actually really good.
Hooray!
Yeah, I'm really good. We both had a lovely weekend off with the Quakers, didn't we?
Yeah, and we saw each other, which is
We saw
unusual, like in person.
Yeah. It was really interesting actually, because like everyone else there, I felt we had to do the kind of like, so where are you living now? What you been up to? Have you got a partner at the moment?
Yeah.
What you doing for work? Kind of thing. And you and I just got to be like straight into it.
Yeah, it was great. It was really nice. Yeah, I was trying to explain this to somebody over the weekend, and I was like you need to understand that I'm hanging out with people who I've known for 3 or 4 decades often.
Yeah.
And yet I probably don't know what their job is. Probably don't know where they live. Like all the basic small talk details, forget about it. Who they are, oh my goodness. I can give you chapter and verse.
I've known for 20 years and had deep and meaningful conversations with, and I'm like, I don't remember your name. I do not begin to remember your name at this moment in time. I forgot Matt Wilkinson's last name and had to ask him. And I've known him for like almost my entire life.
Wild times.
Yeah.
How has your gaming been? Other than the game we've done together.
I have played almost no Netrunner. I've watched quite a lot of Netrunner. And this is sometimes the healthiest Netrunner relationship for me. To like have it as a chilled out. I watch this for 20 minutes at a time. I'm engaging with the game. I'm keeping up with the game. But I'm not inadvertently. I've talked to you before about how I have a hard time stopping playing Netrunner. A real hard time. I've made some interesting PE decks recently, but I've literally had a couple of times where I woke up. I was in bed, going to sleep, and I was like, "Is that a deck?" And I got up and made the deck, and then played Netrunner for 2 hours, and I was like, "That wasn't that." I wouldn't say that wasn't a good choice, because that wasn't a choice. If you thought about that for a second, you wouldn't have done it. It might be the deck we're going to look at, actually.
Yeah, I'm happy to be enabling a more healthy version of that.
Yeah, it's nice to do this on a Thursday night. But I've several times this week said, no, I'm not gonna play it. If I start playing it, that'll be it.
I'm just going to check that we can hear each other. Yeah, there we go.
I can hear you.
Yep. Have you been playing any Arkham?
No, I've been really busy this week, Dave. I've got so part of the nature of my ADHD is that my house is extremely messy, and I've never had anyone apart from friends and family come and stay, and that's going to change in 48 hours. I was meant to have an extra week, but someone's coming early, so like I'm a little bit like,
oh wow,
yeah, it's really good they're coming early, and it's really good that I worked really hard this week, as if it was the last week for summer game. But like, it's also like they're gonna be here in 48 hours. It's gonna rule. I'm really happy they're coming, but
a lot to do before then.
Yeah, that's a lot to do before then.
I have a friend who confirmed that she and her family were coming to stay in late June, and I'm already slightly tense about the amount of side I need to do before I can let her in my house.
When I came to your house, it was fine. Is all I'll say.
Thank you. That's appreciated. That's appreciated. I'll still be tense, but it's good to know. So we're gonna play some Jinteki PE. Oh, I suppose I wanted to say a bit about Hemlock Vale. Maybe not very much.
Yeah,
it's good. I've been playing a fair amount of it. I haven't been playing very much Netrunner because I have been trying to get through Hemlock Vale. I played it once most of the way, and then I found my deck was slightly substandard and I think not retrievable, sadly. It was a character who I think just doesn't quite have everything he needs to play true solo. So I've gone back through and I think about to play the last scenario.
Because you play that solo quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah, I have changed recently from doing two-handed solo to true solo. Was like as in, so two-handed solo is 2 investigators piloted by 1 person. True solo is 1 investigator piloted by 1 person.
I wonder if it would be a healthier game for me to play in my free time, because Netrunner has that horrible quality of the horrible, wonderful quality of that was real fun. I won that game, or nearly won that game. Slightly different.
Yeah.
If the things had spun round in a slightly different way on that slot machine, I could have. So I'll just give it 1 more.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe I think the fact that its playtime is longer is a significant difference between the 2 of them. I often wish that I could fire off a game of Arkham in the time it takes to play a game of Netrunner.
Don't you then, by its very nature, don't you sort of go in knowing that you're not going to complete it, and therefore you can make the sensible decision to stop now? Whereas 1 more game of Netrunner, I can convince myself will take 5 minutes, and sometimes it does, and sometimes it takes 40 minutes, and that I think is part of the danger.
I always go in intending to finish a scenario in an evening.
Okay.
And that's the main impetus for changing to do true solo. Actually, I think my early on in my Arkham career, my initial experience of it was that it was too variable. That you sometimes get situations where it snowballs badly against you. Like you get typically more enemies on you than you can handle, the game just runs away with you. And that was my experience in the past, and I didn't like it. I liked having 2 investigators to like smooth out the variability a bit.
Yeah.
And I just got to the stage where I was playing until 1 o'clock in the morning and getting really tired and crabby with it. And the thing is, when I stop a scenario, because I live with children and I play on what is their breakfast table. So if I stop a scenario, I have to spend about as much time as I would tidying it up and taking photographs of the play state and putting everything in stacks.
No, it's you're not playing it on TTS. You're playing it. I'm
playing it with real cards. Yeah.
Real cards.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, barbaric, isn't it?
No, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not organized. If I had to play Netrunner with real cards every time, I would not even slightly be a Netrunner player. The main reason I don't go to my local Metro is because I'm always like, it would take me an hour and a half to sort a deck out because it's too much of a mess. And to the point where like people who want me to come have been like, babe, I will print you the proxies to send me the list. Like the cards that I definitely have.
Yeah.
And it is probably quicker to do it like, and also then you're sat with a friend and you're getting stuff up and it's kind of nice. Whereas if you're being like, where's the 3rd copy of Jinteki? It's a bit like nightmare-y.
Yeah. So yeah, I make myself finish a scenario generally, unless it's getting really late and I can't, I'm just like grinding myself into the ground by being too tired. So I've switched to playing true solo so that I can have less of a miserable end to the scenario as well. I'm just not thinking straight, and I actually start. I sometimes have them where I literally lose a scenario because I'm too tired to make good decisions. So, but this is counting the one that I didn't complete because my deck wasn't really going to work. I don't know why I am trying to preserve Wilson Richards' dignity by not naming and shaming him. Wilson Richards, the investigator in Hemlock Vale investigator expansion, the Guardian, is look like a really fun design. He's the toolie guy. He's the handyman.
Yeah. He did look really fun.
He did look really fun, and they just don't have enough card drawing Guardian to make him work. And I think, like do you remember Stand Together? The card where you and one of your fellow investigators gets 2 resources each. I think you have played it. Yeah, and there's an upgraded version where you get 2 resources and 2 cards, and you literally can't play it with a single investigator because you have to choose another investigator as the target. And so playing true solo, that's like you have basically 2 card draw options, maybe a third, but like you have to dump a lot of XP into something you really don't want in the first place. So I was just like, there's actually just not enough support in the card pool to play him true solo. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
I think I cheat, Dave. I think if there's something like that where it's like, this hasn't been designed, this hasn't thought of the fact that there might be literally only one player. Like, I think I cheat. But
maybe.
I completely accept that, like, some people that couldn't feel good for.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that perhaps I should have it. I got to the stage, so it's the upgraded version anyway, so I'd need to drop, I think, 4 XP to get 2 copies of the upgraded version in my deck. And I got to the final scenario and I was like, this deck just isn't working. So I got, there's a sort of path dependency there. Perhaps I should have, at the beginning, when I realized this wasn't going to work, have cheated and just got my upgrade in between scenarios 1 and 2. But I didn't do that, and then I was at a stage where I was like, yeah, I'm not sure I can retcon this in a way that isn't very messy.
So were you halfway through the final scenario when you gave up?
No, before I got to the final scenario, I had a very bad penultimate scenario. And part of the reason it was very bad is because I just didn't draw the cards I needed. And at that point I was like, this deck is never going to work. It's not supported. This is unfortunate. Back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, that's part of any game like this.
Yeah. But I'm confident, having tried it out, that the fault is in the card pool, not in me. Yeah. So that's a happy situation to find myself in.
Cool. I'm often, in fact, I'll talk a bit about, like, I decided that the assets ban was dead, that you can't do it anymore because Cataloger is too good and Labissima and Orca are too good. And then, sorry, what's their name? Let me just double check. I've got it on this list somewhere. Test running.
Mm-hmm.
Test running, they haven't had to drop out because it was so very, very late for them. I think that's their pronoun. Let me just check. Yeah. They could well have won that EMEA, but they had to drop out like in the final 4.
Right. Okay.
With a Jinteki assets ban deck, not of the kind that I've been running, not of the like, is it a trap kind. I think what they're doing is fair if you want, more interesting. I will say more interesting, more like interesting board states. Although I always find my board states interesting. I think the runner doesn't because they can't see what the fuck's going on. I always find my board states interesting.
Should we start looking at the deck? If you are starting to talk about it, let's.
We're using new tech, and I'm wondering where I'm going to see this deck. I mean, I guess
that's a good point.
For this bit, I could just bring it up on my own blooming screen, but like at some point, I'm going to be able to see.
Shall I bite the bullet and share my screen with you, and we'll hope that it doesn't all fall on our heads?
Let's find out.
Okay, here we go.
I tell you, it's a great stream. You like tech issues? this is the stream for you. If you want to see some people deal with some tech issues week after week after week, we have got one hell of a stream. Helena was being really nice about our stream at camp. I want to say at camp. It wasn't at camp.
We were in youth hostel, weren't we? In youth
hostel. We were in a youth hostel. But it was camp.
I mean, as my sister, she's kind of obliged to be quite nice about our stuff. But I did. So genuine, nevertheless.
Yeah, no,
it did sound genuine. I know I'm being silly. I know my sister well enough to know how she would sound if she was trying to be complimentary but didn't mean it. It would have taken a slightly different tack.
It was like it had the correct number of negative statements, of definitely true negative statements, like I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about, which is like I don't even take it as an insult, because like no, most people won't.
Yeah,
we've got a very, very niche thing that we're doing here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at this deck.
Cool. The floor is yours. Go for it.
Okay, so what this deck wants to do, I mean, one of the most fundamental things this deck wants to do is get Charlotte, Cassador on the board for 2 or 3 turns, and then have all of the money that you'll ever need to do cool stuff. It wants to put Data Loop on R&D, usually, or on the scoring remote. And then it's probably made an incorrect decision here or there in terms of the upgrades. But there's like some... So there's a previous version of this deck that ran 1 less of some other card and ran 3 hybrid release instead of 2 blood in the water. Because 3 hybrid release, if you score a hybrid release, you kind of need to do it at the start of turn, which is why it's a bit clumsy. But you can then install a card from archives onto your Hollow Man, and in theory score a 5/3 from nothing.
Hybrid release is the 2/1 that was in.
It's a 2/1.
Yeah.
So you kind of, what you don't want to do is like install advance. Yeah, I mean you do want to do that sometimes. Yeah. It's a good ability sometimes, but you don't want to do that for the Hollow Man combo. You can do a bunch of Hollow Man combos with it. You can, because it can install a card from archives. So here's your dream board state, right?
Yeah.
You got your cohort guidance program, it rezzed and not trashed for some reason. You've got longevity serum or sting or viral weaponization in your hand.
Yeah.
And you've got a hyper release and a Hollow Man on the board.
Yeah.
You a cohort to like either trash one of those agendas from HQ or turn something face up to put a counter on the hyper release if there's already a face down agenda in HQ.
Yeah.
Then score the hyper release. You know, we're talking about a different deck now because I've taken hyper release out of it. You then score the hyper release, install the face down agenda onto the Hollow Man, and because you've got all the credits in the world of Charlotte, who got trashed 4 turns ago, but it doesn't matter because she made you like 16 credits or something wild. Because you've got all the credits in the world, you can then score out the absolute dream Christmas land version of this is you score out a viral weaponization with a click left.
Yeah.
And you install a Fuji asset retrieval into that same server.
Yeah.
And that server is behind a data loop. And if you've done or an unresident enemy, and if you've done all of those things, it's very, very, very hard for the round to contest it.
Yeah, yeah. So I've given this the title Tempo PE. So this is trying to score out.
Yeah. It's trying to score out on tempo. I like it because it is trying to do that. I think there are a lot of good criticisms of decks that aren't trying to do that, and this is genuinely trying its best.
Yeah.
Do that.
What role does PE's identity ability play in that? Is it in the fork you've just described, that the runner has too few cards to be able to safely contest agendas, and therefore you can score
Yes.
out?
Yeah. Essentially that. There are some currently questionable. Like, this has been through a lot of iterations, and I'm not I don't think this is the best iteration at all. Moonpool might not actually be very good in this list right now. I think if you've only got 11 agendas, Moonpool is not necessarily doing you a huge number of favors. But it's another card that deals with Cataloger, and Cataloger's admittedly less of a problem in this deck than it was in the Traps deck, so maybe I would just take Moonpool out. Hokusai Grids could probably be an Adrian Seiss or an Anoetic or something. And Biovolt is much better in theory than it is in practice. Dream with Biovolt is that I put it out there with Mitosis and then put a bit of ice in front of it. But that's very slow. That's me setting up to score something in 3 or 4 turns. That's not because you can't mitosis something into an existing server.
Yeah.
So it requires things to happen in exactly the right order. It's good. It's really good Biovolt. It kills pinhole threading. It kills I don't know. It's not test run, is it?
Trick shot.
Trick shot.
Yeah.
It kills diversion of funds. Kills overclock. It kills lots and lots and lots of things. It's a great card.
It makes Cataloger harder as well.
Yeah, it makes Cataloger harder. It is also your whole turn, to install, and maybe if you've got Lacosta in there, it's 2/3 of a turn, but often that Lacosta counter was still worth something. It could have gone on Charlotte.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything about the other ice? You've mentioned Data Loop already. You've mentioned an enemy already. We've got Snakey McSnakeface here.
Snakey McSnakeface is... I just wanted it, Dave. All right, look.
I'm not judging. The last time that we played a Corp deck on this channel, it was my deck. And I noticed there's several ideas here that were there. Almost certainly much better executed. But the main thing about that deck was just, kill the runner with snakes.
I think I might have killed them once with that snake. I'll tell you how the snake has killed them is that they end up with 4 tags if it goes off because they don't clear them, and then Minescaping is 3. Minescaping is 3 damage at that point, and there are board states where Minescaping into something will kill the runner.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's be brutally honest with ourselves. You're saying, what's this deck about, Jessica? And the answer is that, once upon a time, I had a deck made of traps, and I decided it didn't work. And I was like, what would make it okay that Cataloger is in the meta? And I decided that Data Loop was a really good answer to that. And then I started thinking, Charlotte's also a really good card, and I want to protect it. And I just started adding more and more ice, and I've had 10, but I think the most I've had is 11 ice. But 7 through 10 has been fairly common and good enough most of the time as well. If the ice is good enough, it's fine. It's the right answer. And Data Loop is very good. Data Loop is however many credits it costs you to break, plus 2 clicks effectively most of the time. And sometimes an end the run, because sometimes they're like, well, now I can't go into the server because I might die.
Yeah. Cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to play it. You've mentioned Hokusai could possibly be Adrian. Is that a change you want to make at this stage?
Yeah, or anoetic. Like, I think Hokusai is better as any of several things.
When I look at it, and I don't have a great amount of confidence in my deck judging.
It should be a Daniela. It should be a Daniela.
Ah, you're right. Yes, it should. Yeah.
Daniela's extremely good in these decks, and I put it in and taken out, put it in and taken out, and it should definitely be in there. Like, I'm almost tempted to take something else out that I said's not very good and put in a second Daniela. The weird thing with this deck is I'm like, I have too much money now. I don't need this much money, but you should almost never take money out of a deck. So it's really strange.
Do you want to change Hokusai for Daniela? Moonpool was the other one you mentioned.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if we make those into two Danielas. And Moonpool is good. Moonpool is like a real hand fixer of a card that gets you value. So maybe don't take Moonpool out. I think Moonpool's fine where it is.
Okay.
And we'll have a Daniela and a Bio. We'll have two Danielas and a Biobolt.
Okay, sounds good.
My choice.
Cool. Done. Let's stick that into JNet. So we had a little bit of a chat about changing up some stuff on the channel.
Yes.
And I think some of those discussions we probably need to revisit off stream rather than like talk through them on stream and make poor content. But we did talk a bit about our play speed.
Yeah.
And maybe trying to play a little bit faster and maybe then spending some time talking about plays while we're not keeping somebody waiting.
Yeah, I think that's a good decision. We should also probably say that we're going to try and move to Tuesday next week.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for confirmation from my Arkham game streamers whether that will happen next week, but we are going to move to Tuesday in the not too distant future, certainly.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, this is only 13 influence.
Yeah, I can't remember what I took out. Oh, it was I think it was probably Cerebral Overwriter, because at some point you kind of go big or go home with traps. Or I took out a third Data Leap. A third Data Leap is nice, to be honest. Like, I might... Yeah, a third Data Leap is nice. There's a strong argument for it over Cloud Eater, but I want a good Sentry in there. And it's fun. And I've, kind of playing this to have fun.
Yep.
You know? I think I haven't got it in me to be a tryhard at Netrunner this year. I think that's really where I'm landing. Like, watching God bless them, watching the tryhards at EMEA. There were parts of it that looked deeply unfun to me. And I had fun at Worlds because I went not being a tryhard. I went having given up on being a tryhard 2 or 3 months. And it's very hard to do that on purpose, to both not be a tryhard and do really well.
Cool. I'll set this up. So I'm going to be at your disposal, and I might ask questions, but I will try not to debate too many plays. Although, as I said, I mentioned to this one in person. What's that?
I'll try and not intervene. I'll let you make mistakes and tell you what's wrong with you as a player and a person afterwards.
I was going to suggest that the first go, we maybe do that the second time. The first time, you tell me how to play.
Okay.
And I'm in your hands. If time allows, I might say, why are we doing this? But I won't say, how about we do X instead?
Because we agreed we'd stream Narrow every week.
I told you this when we were. Oh, you were spectating. I was someone's watching us. It's you.
Yeah, it's me. I wonder if that will create an interesting technical issue.
We'll find out. Yeah, I was going to say we had some really funny compliment from Bahram Wu on his stream a little while back when I popped into his chat, where he said that he really enjoyed our channel because we kept disagreeing with each other. He found it very interesting.
I didn't find that interesting at all, actually, Dave.
No, he found it interesting. He found it interesting.
No, I'm saying, well, I'm saying I thought you found it interesting.
Bahram Wu found it interesting when we disagree.
Okay, you're disagreeing that I think that you found it interesting. Cool. We've done the joke now. Okay.
It's Loup.
Cool. Turn one concede. No, that's not fair. Like, I kind of hate playing at Snobbery. It's not good to spectate because I can't see what the cards are. That's playable. It's slightly dodgy playable, but it's playable.
Shall I keep it?
Yeah, you can see a lot worse hands than that. You'd mitosis out one of the agendas. If you were feeling very brave, it would be the viral weaponization. He probably runs both things. And the NGO front.
Okay.
But you mindscaping first.
Okay, so I'll keep.
Yep. And there's a part of me that says just do the vote. Like, did he keep?
No, he took a mulligan.
Okay, then don't do the viral weaponization. If he kept, and it's like we have a chance to kill a really good hand, let's maybe kill a really good hand. But
okay, we've got a Rashida.
He's just going to run everything as the thing. Probably, like, it's probably going to go improm, run. But yeah, mitosis out the NGO front and sting, and chuck the Rashida out there and see. I reckon.
Okay, and Rashida out.
Yeah.
Okay,
see, this is sort of board state where you would like a moon pool, because having one agenda in, I think we're going to be all right, Dave. I think we're going to do okay.
Okay, so I'll rest Rashida. Yeah,
please. Yeah, that's not an aggressive start from them at all.
Okay, we've got a Lacosta, 2 spin doctors, and a cohort guidance program. And so shall I advance and score the sting?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, boom. Okay, that trash to conduit.
And something else?
And pinhole threading.
Oh, that's great. What are they on? 2 credits and no imp.
And 1 card.
Mindscaping something, like quite possibly a spin doctor. Although I don't love the cards that we got in the bin, but mindscaping definitely.
Play mindscaping?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Going forward, draw 2 cards. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. I don't actually know all the text on mindscaping, which I was a bit confused about that. So we have drawn another sting and a cloud eater.
Put out the sting.
Yeah.
But by the way, I would not have put a spin doctor on the top of the deck. But we'll talk about that in a sec.
Okay.
Put the sting out, and we'll talk about why in a minute.
Yep. New remote. So hang on, I thought I put... Oh. I thought it was putting it on the bottom, and I thought you told me to put Spin Doctor on there. I thought you said Mindscaping the Spin Doctor.
I said we might install a spin doctor.
Ah, right. I misunderstood you.
Yeah. Like what you put on the top of the deck is quite important. We've done all right. Like it's fine. Okay. We're gonna have an interesting decision now. Do we lose on these cards to score a second sting? Kind of. What are our credits like? 6. No, I think we do a triple install. I think we go cohort. I think we go cohort, Cloud Eater in front of it because they don't know we can't res it, and Spin Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So cohort, new remote, Cloud Eater in front of it. We can res it actually if we fire the NGO, can't we?
Yeah, you're right. We can res it. And then a Spin Doctor, please.
Yep.
Cool. And when we fire that cohort, we will know Spin Doctor first to see extra cards that we might want to trash.
Okay. Happy days. Okay, so NGO.
How many credits have they got?
They've got 2 credits.
That's exactly what they need. They will then end on 4 tags and be tagged for the rest of the game. Yes, let's res this.
Okay, so
also, they can't repeatedly run it. Like, we can put stuff behind it for, like, a turn. They can't run it over and over again. And we're not going to have any money is the problem.
So they've broken, as expected, the trash and the net damage subs. So,
yeah, with them. Oh, and I presume they're going to take 2 tags as well. Yeah. And just be, like, tagged forever. And also down on 1 credit, which we're fine with.
Cool.
Okay. Please res the Spin Doctor now.
Okay. Yeah. Daniela and another Locusta.
Yeah, that's terrible. Please don't start the turn yet. Please bring Mindscaping back into the deck.
Okay. Mindscaping and
Rashid or NGO. I don't really mind. Like either of those would be fine behind that. The thing probably Mindscaping and NGO. I think.
Okay. 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 Drawn a Fuji.
We can go Fuji Daniela credit.
Cool. In server 5, I assume.
Yeah.
In health threading.
Res it.
Which one, Daniela?
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean they'll just see the agenda and Daniel won't do anything?
Not necessarily. People don't always like.
Okay, 2 cards from the grip to the bottom of the stack.
You get who they were. They're clearing tags, which is really good for us. Start turn. We haven't got any start turn triggers.
Okay. A longevity serum.
Yeah, longevity 2 credits, I think.
Where are we putting the longevity?
Oh, because we don't have the flipping Daniela anymore.
So they can't, unless they do some silliness with a symbol chip, they can't really get through the Cloud Eater happily for another turn or so.
Let's kill Cookbook now and take 2 credits.
Yeah.
Because it's usually a 1-of in the deck.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
Yeah, yeah. I was confident that it was a 1-of in the deck as well, and was thinking on the same lines. And I think this is the first time that I feel very confident about the composition of a opponent's deck to that extent. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah. We want some econ.
Start turn.
Yep.
Tasubola, which is econ if we, under certain circumstances. This Fuji is going to go next turn, isn't it?
Yeah, unless we put a tattoo in front of it, which I'd be fine with. I'm also fine with them losing 3 cards. I suspect they've got like a slightly awkward hand right now that they don't want to lose cards out of. And we do not have the money to do good stuff. So I suspect it might go tattoo in front of Cloud Eater, Spin Doctor on the board, take a credit.
Okay.
And then we're hoping we draw with the Spin Doctor if they run it.
Yeah.
And a credit, please.
Yep.
We might want to fix our hand next time if we possibly can.
There's Audrey, but without the cookbook. It's okay. So, res new Spin Doctor, I assume.
Yeah.
No ice. We will. So Rashida back in and cohort maybe, or Daniela.
Yeah, they're so trashable is the problem. Like, this is the thing I kind of hate about playing against Lou's. We've got so many trashables that we can't really protect. But yeah, maybe I think the Daniela is really powerful actually. I go Rashida. Yeah, Rashida, Daniela.
Yeah, gotcha. Longevity serum, trashing a buzzsaw.
Okay.
Okay, NGO front.
I think we just install and double click it. Frankly, like we need the money.
Yeah. Running HQ again. Okay, the viral weaponization.
Yeah, that's unlucky that we got 40% and a 20%. Oh, and that's horrible. Okay.
Okay, start turn.
It's not much good without an imp though. So let's start the turn. Let's res NGO and let's score that sting. And hopefully buy us a turn by killing an imp.
Okay, trash to strike fund and a botulus.
Okay, I'm happy to see a botulus go.
And they draw 4 times.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a Charlotte Castador. Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame we got this Fuji, really.
I mean, we could trash the Fuji, install Moonpool, move on with our lives. We could also go Moonpool, cohort, Rashida, and just be like, come and run it all if you think you're hard enough. Do you have what you need? Some of it's quite expensive to trash. I think that they probably get in if we trash the Fuji and advance. I tell you what, if we trash the Fuji with
Charlotte,
can they run that? They probably think they can run that. Yeah. Okay, trash the Fuji with the Charlotte.
Yeah.
Install Moonpool. Install cohort guidance program.
Yeah.
And I think they get the Charlotte, but I think we also get something useful.
Okay, so they are running the Moonpool. That's unfortunate.
I'm sorry, I'm doing maths. It's 3 credits off Charlotte, isn't it? If we pop it.
Yes.
And it's 2 credits for them to trash, so it's 1 credit for them to trash. Yeah, do it. Get the Fuji out. Get rid of the Fuji.
Yeah.
And put that credit on the Charlotte.
Yeah. Do you want to trash anything from HQ?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. And they're going for the cohort, which they can have.
Yeah. Has that got 2 counters on it? It does, doesn't it? Ugh. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and going for R&D. So.
Okay, that's fine. That's really good for us.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely extremely happy about that. I'm much less happy about it now. Yeah,
Res Charlotte.
Yeah, for what it's worth, this is a very difficult matchup for us.
Yeah. So we draw another Charlotte from that, and we'll start turn. And let's redraw, and it's a Fuji.
For fuck's sake. Oh, it's a horrible board set, Dave. I hate it. Draw.
Yeah. Mitosis.
Okay. Mitosis out, Charlotte and Fuji.
Fuji going into server 5.
Fuji going into its own server. Let them trash it if they're going to go and trash it.
Fuji.
Yeah, you can't put it in an existing server. Put them in 2 new servers. These are the kinds of plays that you have to make.
Okay. They can win, right? If they run it.
Yeah, but they can win by running R&D as well. They can win by running HQ. They are less likely to run something double advanced. Okay, never mind. I was wrong.
Okay.
Good game. Okay. In our defense, we drew 2 of 9 pieces of ice out of 21 cards, and they weren't our ideal pieces of ice to draw at all. Yeah, like you're right, we could lose from that, but like I say, we could lose from any access. We got some unlucky accesses, or rather, they got some very lucky accesses.
Yeah, they ran HQ twice, didn't they, and got 4 points out of it.
And
hit both the agendas, yeah.
And then they ran R&D once and got 2 points out of it. This isn't a particularly agenda dense deck for that to have happened.
Yeah.
But you can whinge all day about bad luck. If there was no luck in the game, there'd be no fun in the game.
Should we have a look at the replay? Talk through it.
Yeah, if you want. That's the sort of thing we said we were going to do.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked about that game quite well during it without taking loads of time. But let's do this thing that we said we were going to do.
Yeah, I that felt like a good balance between them. That said, I think there's stuff to be learned from it. Certainly from my side of things, anyway. So,
in retrospect, this could have been a mulligan. It's my opinion is always keep mitosis if you've got mitosis, but being viral weaponization is simultaneously the core of the deck and a brick of a card in your hand if it's in your hand at the wrong time. So it's really interesting from that point of view. We had a good opener. This is a good opener into Loup. I think we could have made more of our tags when we had them. They just had a few fewer credits. If we hadn't let that Paladin run, yeah. Also, if one of these had been a Charlotte, it would have been a very different game. What did they have? They had, they were
correcting Paladin, Fermenter, Pinhole, and Conduit.
This is exactly the correct opening turn from them. I think they were absolutely right not to run any bust up because they don't know that we're not running Cerebral Overwriter or some bullshit.
I mean, I don't think there are 3 cards in that deck you want to play more than those 3 as well.
Yeah, that's it. They had a good opening hand.
Yeah,
but they had Pinhole as well, which absolutely knackered us. So if we could have scored that Fuji, it would have been a different game.
Yes, yeah, it was a break in that, so wasn't it? After that, so Rashida.
So this wasn't a misplay because we didn't have Mindscaping in hand. For some reason, I thought we had Mindscaping in hand. There's no argument if we were going to install that Spin Doctor to install and res that Spin Doctor. Oh, that's not a Spin Doctor. That's this thing. Oh yeah, we put the Spin Doctor on top. That was a mistake. It didn't cost us anything, but it was a mistake.
Yeah. So talk me through what should we have done then instead, and why do you think it was a good play?
So Spin Doctor is one of the most valuable cards in the game. Full stop. You put a card that is hard for them to trash, and/or you don't care about them trashing, and/or you want them to see snare on top of the deck It's the amount of times that the runner will, despite the fact that you've controlled the top of the deck, they've watched you do it, they'll just go and run the top of the deck anyway, and you're like, okay, buddy. I don't know whether you're trying to out Yomi here or you just weren't paying attention to the fact I did a Mindscaping. But in theory, that is a completely dead click for you. You know?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's I misread. Firstly, I misheard you, and secondly, I misread the card. I thought it bottomed that card, which I thought, well, that's great because we don't want 2 Spin Doctors now. We want one later. Anyway.
I nearly lost a game at Worlds because I forgot to top deck a card from it, and my opponent reminded me, and then my opponent died next turn. And it's a thing I still feel bad about because they were a very good sport. And my deck was the kind of like horrible prick deck that can just do that to you. And it was the person who I knocked out of the tournament. I still have like just a bunch of bad feels about it because I could tell that I made it feel really bad that like that thing happened, and that they could have just given me a game loss. Like that's the thing that they could have done. They could have said you didn't top deck a card, game loss. Like that would have been an option for them if they'd wanted to. But like nice netrunner players don't do that.
Yeah,
I've netrunner players who totally will let you make a mistake, watch you make it, go and talk to a judge about it 5 minutes later, and give you a game loss.
So they drew 3 cards, 4 cards,
which I will say is the kind of turn you want to be causing. Them to just be clicking 4 times for cards is good for us. Our issue is that we don't have econ.
Yeah.
But what we didn't know is that they don't have an imp in hand. I can't remember what we do here. I think that we install
Cohort and Cloud Eater.
Cohort. And I think in a lot of ways it's a mistake. I think that we would have done just as well to install 3 cards and be like, do you want to spend your entire turn like running around checking stuff? And some of it be stuff that you don't even get to trash. Like they wouldn't have gone to trash the Lucaster. You know?
Yeah. So there's the Botulus play on the Cloud Eater.
Yeah. Which is a really good play because only one of those subroutines fire. They ended up clearing 4 tags. It cost them a turn and 8 credits.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a terrible res at all.
Yeah.
I'm interested why they didn't. They obviously thought it was an agenda. The fact that they didn't pinhole it.
I guess with the Botulus play as well, they were betting it wasn't a Cloud Eater. You know, they were betting it wasn't something with 3 relevant subroutines.
And let's be fair, like it has 3 relevant subroutines. The last, like, it wasn't game-endingly relevant. It was bad, but it wasn't like that bad.
Yeah. I think we would specifically needed to have an NGO as well on the table. Like we weren't on 10 credits when they started the run.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some bad draws here. I might have made a mistake telling us to res the Daniela, because you're right, they could have. It cost us 2 credits, and they could have gone for the wrong card. And
we actually weren't in a position to do anything about it then afterwards, were we? I think we trashed the cookbook. Let's see. Yeah, so they pinhole.
Yeah, and I think you were right that we shouldn't have resed it.
Yeah.
I was like, let's take 2 cards out of their hand, tempo. But like, actually in practice, giving them the chance to get it wrong. Yeah, and this is where we start to get unlucky. You know, like
yeah.
Now, should we have perhaps? Because I think they steal one right here, don't they?
Yeah. So I think we trash cookbook and then click for credits twice, and then they run HQ, and I think they get the 2 there. So they do 1 draw, 2 draws, strike fund, remove a tag. Oh no, actually. So there's another turn.
So what we should have done and didn't is install Spin Doctor and get these 2 agendas that we can't score out of hand. That's what we could have done.
Yeah.
And we still could have done it here. There's no reason why we can't do it right here, right now. Like at least at one of them out of hand.
Yeah. Let me click for credit. So we're ending on 3 with the Spin Doctor on the table.
Yeah, which is wrong. It's wrong in so many ways. Like they still would have run it even if we'd rezzed it. Like we didn't like save them a click.
Yeah, and they could have been running, 5 cards, some of which we didn't want them to trash, or 4 cards.
And you know what's funny as well here? If they had not stolen the longevity, is this their I was going to say if they hadn't stolen the longevity serum, they probably would have gone for server 2 or whatever it is. Stolen a Fuji and lost their Nobkri, and it's the Nobkri is the like broken card.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
So yeah, we install an NGO. It's install advanced, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think they just run it straight away. Like I think this deck. To be fair, I think we're on 1 credit.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they run HQ and steal the other agenda.
Yeah, which again is like real shit luck.
Yeah.
There were at least 2 cards in hand that they could do nothing about. That they couldn't trash Lacosta.
Yeah. Okay, we advance Sting.
Yeah, hoping to get him. I think we were unlucky with them having drawn so much to have not hit an imp. Also, I mean, they were unlucky to have not drawn an imp. So, like, swings and roundabouts.
Okay.
That's a good draw for them as well.
Yeah, the draw, we get a Charlotte. But now we're a bit stuck because we've only got 1 remote that works and we've got something in it that we can't score.
Yeah, and works is like a very relative term here. I mean, let's see, we'll call it 10 ice for the sake of argument. So that's 1 in 5. And we did draw 20 cards. Like, we didn't draw a lot of ice in this game.
Yeah. So yeah, we get the moon pool.
And we drew more. We drew more than 20 cards because we used Spin Doctor twice. So like,
yeah,
we really got unlucky with ice.
Yeah, so they run the moon pool, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. I think that was right what we did there.
Yes. It would. I think we'd have had just a completely different game if that cohort had just been protected by one of the other tattoo bowlers, though.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should have wide rather than try to make one big server. And again, like, that's 5 out of 10 agendas in the top 19 cards.
Yeah.
Not that weird, actually, when you put it like that. Like, it's a little bit grim. It's a little bit grim that they like stole them so well out of where they stole them. And this, I think, was like a tough play. But I think there are times when it would have won us the game, and it just wasn't one of them. I think that, like, I think they were brave to do what they did.
I'm not sure I agree with you, Jessica. I think up to this point, they've run absolutely everything we put out unprotected.
That's not true.
Oh, no, there was a Sting on the board for a long time, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they haven't run advanced stuff. Mitosis stuff tends not to get run because, like, all right, they've got a steel skin scarring, but like they could. Admittedly, they don't care about losing most of these cards. They kind of care about the labor rights, but like, yeah.
What other plays were open to us there?
Very few, because we don't have any ice. It's the thing. Like, the way to beat this deck is to draw all of your ice and make everything protected and find the virus, which we also didn't find. And it's the other, like, get fucked card. But it sort of doesn't get you fucked very hard in this deck because, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what was our money like? Like, they could have gotten into that server. There's nothing, like, yeah. Like, once Audrey was down and Nobcree, like, once Audrey, Nobcree, and Imp are down, it's often a bit like, well, that's the game.
Yeah.
And to me, Nobcree is the problematic card. Nobcree is the card that's set, like, I don't like cards that kind of, to me, feel like you don't have to make as many decisions anymore. And Nobcree, to me, is a card that says, yeah, just trash whatever it was. Like, you've got infinite of this now, so just do it. You know? I've never lost a game on stream and not said that we got unlucky.
But we did.
We got a little bit unlucky.
I think. I mean, we've identified that play, not doing that play with the Spin Doctor was incorrect. Not fixing a hand when we had a chance.
Yeah. I think that was probably game changing.
It is. Yeah, I mean, the deck is light on ice, but we really didn't draw very much of it at all.
We drew less than half as much as you would expect. And I do think that it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
8 loops make such a difference, Dave. Like, because it's half a turn. It's half a turn when they hit it. And it doesn't matter if they've got a botchless installed, it's still half a turn for them.
Yeah.
Drawing the same fucking cards they had in their hand.
Yeah. Let's play again.
Yes, let's play again, please.
How do I need to do something? Leave replay, that's what. Yeah. Cool.
Oh, I'm also going to flag a bit tonight, Dave. I can tell you that now.
I was just thinking that I've done the thing where I try and pilot a deck second when I'm tired. So yeah, let's play this game, and maybe this will be the game that we play. The last game that we play. But hopefully we'll get a few more ice and have a less of a frustrating game.
I'll tell you what, Dave, I didn't find that game frustrating.
Okay, that's good.
Found that interesting. I thought that, like, that wasn't the kind of game where I felt like we never had a play. It was the kind of game where I felt like we had plays and they weren't great. It's got mitosis, so we keep it.
Okay.
That's the rule. It's got mitosis and a good target. Yeah. Maybe it becomes 2 good targets.
Cool.
Mitosis out the target and then put.
So those are Blood on the Water and NGO.
Yeah. And then put either Daniela or Tattoo Boulder in front of the Blood in the Water, which I suspect they just botched us through. But put Daniela down. That way, at least, like, we cost them some shit.
A Imp and Solidarity Badge out.
And
they're running
res.
Yeah.
They don't. quite die off this, unfortunately. They can't trash it as well. Yeah, they can't trash it and steal.
Yeah.
Okay. So
they used him to put it in the bin. Fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Start done.
Looks like this, and they are playing security testing for their last action.
Okay, that's fine.
So we draw a spin doctor. Happy days.
So we put Spin Doctor out. We put Rashida in
behind
behind Tatibola on the Daniela.
Yeah.
Daniela, Ella, A, on top of the Daniela. Yeah, I'm glad we put these Danielas on there. They feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, she's done a lot already, hasn't she?
Yeah.
I think she's a good card. I really hate her as a individual.
Tell me why. I think I know why, but tell me why.
Like, it's just the most scabby behavior, isn't it? Being a clone, corp, functionary, and gloating about it.
That's fine. You can run that, baby. Like, we'll take our 8 credits now if you want.
Yeah. Cool. That'll be Blood in the Water and NJ back or mitosis?
Mitosis, please. Yeah. Because I don't think they're going to imp whatever it is.
Rashida. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they won't imp it.
Okay.
Yeah, Rashida. You gotta beat her. Do you want see what? That's not very nice. We do have 11 credits.
I feel like the tributary wants to go on the board.
Yeah, I feel like he wants to go on HQ.
Yeah, let's do that.
Is Daniela unique?
She is, yeah.
That's entirely reasonable. In that case, I think we slightly scuffed this term. We should draw a card and put the sting in the Daniela server.
Okay. So draw now.
Yeah.
Okay, cohort. Still sting in?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we don't want cohort filling that server up.
Yeah.
I always find these cohorts a little bit awkward because you've got to protect them, and because they're the card that I least want to protect.
Yes.
They just end up dying in a turn, you know?
Yeah, yeah. We have played both of our games against the archetypal trash all of the things deck.
Okay. Yeah.
Using steel skin. Using the price trash fermenter and 2 steel skins, and another price. Getting all of the cards, installing fermenter.
Yeah, but not getting the price value.
Right. Yeah. Of
actually being able to
install. Trashing Charlotte from R&D.
Okay, that's good for them. Yeah. They are going to have to discard quite a lot of cards per hand, which is good for us because we're going to score a sting next turn.
Yeah.
And hopefully hit like the good cards that they're hanging on to.
Yeah.
I'd love to hit an upgrade. Although I feel like if they had an upgrade in hand, they might probably not have paid the price.
Yeah.
Oh,
they threw out
that's a really
critical imp. Another solidarity badge, I think.
Yeah.
It's lovely to have Mararis, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we still just score out the sting.
Yeah.
We've got a virus. I'm really happy about having a virus.
Yeah.
What do we get? A Labour Rights is good.
Yeah. And a Symbol Chip.
Symbol Chip.
Oh,
two of their best cards.
Yeah.
Recurable. Everything is very recurable in this deck.
But losing your Labour Rights means it eats up presumably one of the cards from the second copy of Labour Rights. So that's
it's
kind
of like having a Spin Doctor trashed.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get it back, but with half of another Spin Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Nokri. Okay.
Yeah.
R&D. Presumably charging the imp. Trashing Rashida with the imp.
No icebreakers yet. I'm very low on credits. But they do have that security testing, which they're going to go ahead and use on their last click. Okay, fine. Start turn.
Okay, another sting.
Which we can't make them steal unless we put it in archives, which we can't make them run. I think we draw. I think we put cohort in the remote. Okay, now we do something slightly different. Now we fix our hand. Now we do what we didn't do before.
Yeah.
So I think we actually install a Red Spin Doctor.
Yeah.
In a new remote.
Yeah. Cool. NGO and Moonpool.
And let's get cohort into that.
Server 2.
The server 2, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we're losing Blood in the Water and Fuji.
Yeah, sounds good. And let them use a run before we fire the Spin Doctor, right?
Yeah, make sure that it's not a security testing run. The security testing is on archives, so we don't need to fire the first time they run. In fact, when they run Spin Doctor, obviously then we want to use Spin Doctor, but like, I mean, also we do have a main pool. Oh, we can fast advance. Okay, yeah, we'll use that Spin Doctor.
Yeah.
We now can't fast advance, which is a shame. We've got money.
Okay. That's the security testing run.
Fair. Please press cohort. Please press cohort.
Oh, sorry.
You can do it now. They'll still let you do it.
Oh, really? Yeah, just tell me off enter.
Yeah. They'll let you do it. They're like, don't do that, and then they just let you do it anyway.
Yeah. Trash a card?
Yes, but which one? The Moonpool is doing the least for us right now. Actually, that we don't need a second Daniela, I don't think.
Cool. Okay, Mindscaping and Anemone. Oh, I'm really glad to see a second ice.
Yeah.
R&D.
That's
Mitosis first.
We don't have a mitosis, so let's Mindscaping instead.
Mindscaping, sorry, that's right. What I meant, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm so sarcastic.
That's fine.
I'm sorry, I'm so sarcastic.
Okay, Hollow Man, another Tattoo Bowler.
Cool. Let's put Virus on top of the deck.
Okay, yeah.
And Tattoo Bowler on R&D.
Yeah.
And I think take a credit.
Yeah. Okay.
The Temptation actually, I mean, they're on what, 14 credits or some nonsense. So like, I feel like stopping them from getting the extra credit from security testing is not really worth our while.
Mm-hmm. Also, if having an ice in hand when there's two Tattoo Bowlers on the table is a good play.
Yeah.
Because it means...
Oh, yeah, there's two on the table, I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Res Tattoo Bowler?
Yeah, sure, babe. We'll Res Tattoo Bowler.
Your name's not down, you're not coming in. So they need to run our... Okay, Res Tributary.
Yes. Because they also can't trash that.
Draw a card.
We know what that card is, and it's a nice one to have in the hand. But it doesn't really do anything this time.
Do we want to install the enemy?
Because do we have an agenda in hand? Yes, we do. They are how we're gonna trash something. I don't think we install, because I think we wait for the Tattoo Bowler. No, fuck it. Install it on the Daniela server.
Okay, yeah.
It's good on the Daniela server. Look, they might get our Hollow Man.
Server 2, yeah.
But, yeah.
Cool. They get the Hollow Man.
Okay. That was the bad hit.
Yeah.
That was a really bad hit. Okay. That's a real shame.
So you would think of hanging on to an enemy just to keep the HQ size up?
Yeah, but I'm also thinking that it makes a really nice, hard to run server if we put it there. You know what? I think we're going to use Cohort to trash that Sting.
Okay.
Now that we can't fast advance it.
Okay.
And it might fast advance something else with Moonpool. So let's do that.
Okay. Yep. Off we go. Okay, we get a Charlotte and a Spin Doctor.
Okay, this is somewhat hard turn. What's their board state looking like? They've drawn a lot of cards. They're probably getting close to having ways into our servers. We've got money though. Install Charlotte.
New remote.
Install Virus. Install Charlotte on top of Cohort.
Okay.
Yeah. Install my virus.
On that same remote?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Advance Charlotte.
Okay, buffer drive going down. The price being played. Steel skin scarring being triggered by the price. Presumably.
They've got 2 books. Good for them.
Oh. That's a turn up for the books. Ho ho. Order coming down.
Order coming down.
That means they're going to try and get in, I think. Come on, my pretties.
They're going to try, Dave. They're going to try.
And Cleve coming down.
They're going to get in, and that's quite frustrating. Yes, let's move tributary to the outermost position, please.
Yep. It'd be really nice if we drew the ice that we want to now install on HQ.
Yeah.
We've definitely baited a run here, Jessica.
We sure have, Dave. I think we might need to click continue to encounter.
Yep. Hey, Dunch, how you doing?
So let's fire those.
Yeah.
See if we get some ice. That'd be nice.
Now we get Fuji.
No, the single worst.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, it's not terrible. I mean, it depends what they do.
If they use up all their cards here and then make a Hail Mary run on HQ, it might win us the game.
They've got no they've got no more clicks.
Approach res an enemy, right?
Yeah, we res that an enemy. And let's trash the Fuji, please, because we're gonna get it back with spin doctor. And what did we get? Moshing and
Botulus.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Cool. Fire and broken subroutines. We get the turbine. Nice.
That's real good. Why didn't they break it? They have an echelon down.
Oh, you were thinking to break it? I think I just clicked that too quickly.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that. Why wouldn't you break that? You would always break. And I'm happy to accept that we missed it rather than them.
Yeah. Okay. Approach ice. Encounter ice. Oh, I'd love to have another ice to switch around here anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we
res them with
I don't think we res that. Not for 1 net damage.
No, even though it would take them down to 0 cards.
Are you thinking that they're going to? Yep. Okay. Do it. Yeah. If I like that as a play. Fine. We can recover. Yeah. We want to do the Charlotte. We want to do the Charlotte. We want to do the Charlotte. We want to do the Charlotte.
Wait, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, because they kind of can't trash it all now. And now I'm regretting.
So we purge?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a strike fund with the net damage. And they don't trash Daniela.
No.
Yeah.
Of
course, they're on. Yeah, sorry, they would have been on 1 if they'd trashed because of Loup. Okay.
Yeah.
No start turn triggers. Viral weaponization.
Hang on. Install it in the Daniela server.
Okay. Do you want to do the spin doctor first?
Let me think for a sec, Dave.
Yep.
This is a difficult turn. Next turn we can fast advance it from 0. with the moon pool, providing the moon pool doesn't get trashed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We need one of these things on the board, actually, is what we need. How many credits have they got? They've got 9. They're fine for credits. You are right. Install the Spin Doctor. I still think we're going to put that viral weaponization in the Daniela server.
Yeah.
Install the Spin Doctor. We're not that bothered about me.
And res it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And then Mindscaping.
Yeah.
For some money and some like sensible placement of cards.
Okay, 2 more agendas. Not what we wanted.
What's our R&D ice? It's very porous, isn't it? We can shuffle the deck. We can shuffle the deck. It doesn't really matter what we do here. Put one of these agendas back on top. One of the viral weaponizations, presumably.
Yeah.
We can shuffle the deck if we need to, and then do put viral weaponization in that server.
In server 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they've got a 1 in 4 of doing what they need to. Oh, I forgot about the solidarity badge. That makes that turn a lot easier for them.
Okay, the security test is targeting archives.
Yeah, which is good, but they're just going to run the Spin Doctor. So we can score out a moon pool next time, probably. Sorry, blood in the water next time, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that viral weaponization stays, we moon and the agenda stay in archives.
Okay, botchless on tributary.
Yeah.
Okay, fire the Spin Doctor. They're running the Spin Doctor.
Hang on.
Do you want to move the tributary to the Spin Doctor?
I'm really tempted to let them trash the Spin Doctor.
Even though there's 2 agendas in archives.
Okay, take something out of archives that's not the agendas, because the agendas could. As you know, they're gonna run this server, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, they've got 2 runs left.
How many steel skins are in archives in the heap?
3 steel skins in the heap.
Use it, but leave the agendas.
Okay. Okay, so so what do you want to put back?
We'll get Virus back. And the Hollow Man, please.
Yep. Sounds good.
Actually, no, let's get some economy.
Sorry. I clicked them already.
Yeah, don't worry. It's fine. And we won't move the territory. We'll leave it where it is. It doesn't really matter anyway. It's sort of marginally better leaving it where it is.
Great. Okay, so the archives are safe. So they're running through the server. And so they're going to get this viral weaponization. Right?
Yeah, and then be on 1 card. Right?
I'm not counting at the moment. Happily, we can do the tattoo bowler play this time and turn time and get data loop in there.
Yeah, and that makes it such a nice server. They can't trash as well. I don't think. I think they would die if they trashed the Daniela as well.
Right, yes, because it's 2 cards per trash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good gosh, yes. Data loop in, 4 credits, thank you very much. Happy days.
Now, what they might do is they might trash the agenda. That is what they're going to do. Little do they know. Sweetie, you can do that if you want, but
cool. So do you have anything we want to do before the start of the turn? We don't have any start of turn triggers, do we?
We don't have any start of turn triggers, no.
Okay.
Say we put. Oh, Christ! I just genuinely, deeply hate this deck. Like, I really, really dislike it.
The Loup deck.
In terms, it's the knobkery. Like, the rest of it is fine. It's the like infinite. I can just trash something every single turn. Of it. Please, we have a look in. I made a mistake not getting those agendas out of archives. I forgot they could just trash. They can trash agendas. That's why I kind of hate it, because it screws PE so hard. So have we got 4 in there or 3 in there?
We have got 3 in there. Should we leave the Fuji in?
Between those are 5 damage. There is a really good chance of them fucking that up. In fact, that's 6 damage in there right now, Dave. Like, they would just die if they ran that server. I'm just gonna point that out.
Yeah.
I think we
6 damage and 6 points.
Put an enemy on archives.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Moon pool out.
Yeah, but I think we put it in the Daniela server.
Okay, yeah, that sounds fun. I like how you're thinking.
And then I guess Hattie Bell on HE.
I would prefer to keep the. Oh no, do we have any tattoo bowlers on the table at the moment? We don't.
Do we? Or do we?
We've got one on R&D.
Okay, yeah. Actually, draw. I think having our hand a bit padded is better right now, and we're unlikely to draw an agenda.
Okay.
There we go.
There's a Bival. Okay. So, Solidarity badge. Where are they going to put their security testing? That's the question. Security testing on HQ.
Fine.
Good. Right, come on in, my pretties. Let's be having you.
That's 7. Dave, that's 7 damage in R&D.
Is it 2 from Fuji and then 3 from
3 from Fuji? 3 from Fuji, Dave.
Oh no, was it 2 from the text of Fuji and then 3 from 3 agendas and PE?
Yeah.
How's that 7?
Because we've got a Sting squad.
Ah, yeah. Cool. 2 Fuji, 3, 4, 5. Ah, yeah. Move tributary?
Yeah, why not? Make them waste one of their counters on it. Like, I like us resonating
out of it, right?
Yeah,
they'll break it.
Yeah, they'll break the other subroutine.
Yeah.
But we like.
Oh yeah, the second one doesn't matter if it's the only piece of ice and they're not breaking it. Right, fair. Okay, there's the security testing money. There's the symbol chip. There's the turbine. Okay.
Yeah, this is a shame. Oh, it's not. It's not that much of a shame. Is there a hush in the bin?
I can't see one, no.
Great. So we're just gonna, we're
gonna res the data loop.
Yeah, we're gonna res the data loop. I think we do spin back what we need to spin back with the moon pool, even though we don't get any counters. I think we get the counter. We can put the counters in like a mysterious place and confuse people.
That's the best. I think the data loop means they can't do anything. They can't pay the Daniela cost, right?
Daniela only applies to itself. Daniela isn't any hard in the Serbia. Daniela.
Oh, it's an agenda or itself. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So rest the data loop.
Yeah.
Like they might jack out, to be honest.
Yeah. This is tense. So breaking it. So I have a do we res and then they say they're going to continue and then we can decide to use the moon pool. Is that how it works? Jessica?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So we'll continue.
They said that.
Yeah. So
now use the moon pool. We definitely
Yeah. So
I mean, there's a part it's like it's 7 points. There's a real part of me that's tempted to just let them trash it, but then they get a card and a credit and everything else, and I'm like, actually no. Like, remove it, get the Fuji back.
Not trashing anything, I assume.
Not anything, absolutely not.
Okay, so Fuji back
and the viral weaponization back. And then we to confuse
the viral hang on. The viral weaponization is face up. We can't select it.
So yeah, we'll get the 2 other agendas. They can have the viral.
Yeah.
If we can't find a way of
and we can't advance anything, so that's
yes we can. Yes, we can advance the enemy twice.
Okay.
Because it will really confuse them.
Okay.
They'll run it and be like, "Oh, it's fine. It's not. It's not an enemy. I know that much."
We've drawn a Charlotte.
I think we install it. I think we install Blood in the Water. We advance Blood in the Water. We score Blood in the Water, and we take the credit.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, because So still advance score.
Oh, what do we hit?
We hit a strike fund.
Yeah, one of the worst things to hit.
The unfortunate thing about this play is that we don't have enough to res the enemy.
I know.
But they would be foolish to run it this... Well, they'd be dead if they run it this turn, probably. So, credit.
Yeah. Like, I think this turn to them is just draw, 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 draw.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Mm.
There's a cat's tail snake out from behind your head just then. Oh, hello. Which cat is this?
This one is Raising Cats. By the way, I'm streaming from my bedroom. Today I do move it to the outer position of where it already is. I always do. I make a point of doing so. I yesterday set up the piece of IKEA furniture that I bought 5 years ago when I moved to this house and had not gotten round to setting up. But yeah, for the subroutine that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And that all of these cards are good for them as trash, annoyingly.
Really annoyingly, they've put R&D as the security testing, and we don't have the second credit to rest the Tattoo Bowler, which would be great if we did.
That was the worst hit, I think.
Yeah, that was really bad. Okay, well, we can't do that. At least they won't see a card. And at least we do have an NGO, so we do have a way of pumping ourselves up.
Yeah.
So they're on... there was more running than I expected there. Did they do draw, draw, run, run? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And then they had an extra draw from the trash. Okay. So we get a viral weaponization.
We have to install and advance the NGO front.
What's our third click, though?
Taking a credit.
Okay. NGO
or all right, draw, install, advance the NGO front is the turn.
Okay. Draw a sting.
Okay.
Okay, Silver 2. And right.
Yeah, and like hopefully this baits a run because it's like a really tempo negative run for them. But I don't think I would. Okay. Yeah, move it.
Yeah,
absolutely. It definitely needs to be that. Rosie, sweetie, that was quite rough the way that you dumped for me, darling. I didn't like it. You want a cuddle? Oh, for a cuddle.
Viral weaponization. That's annoying. Particularly annoying because it means they now, I think, will not want to run the remote.
Oh, did they steal it?
They did steal it, yes. Oh, they're coming back. Interesting.
Did they have 2 counters in that last turn? How did they have a second?
I think they used Nokri to put it on. Surely.
Okay.
Volt.
Also quite bad.
No, they must have had 2. They must have had 2 counters. How weird.
Yeah, I don't understand how they had 2 counters because they ran it last
turn.
Should I
ask them?
Let's see that. Yeah. Let's raise that Tattoo Bowler. We need to do the NGO, but yeah.
Yeah, cool. Placed it there last term and upgrade. Okay. Okay. Team's movement. The old Tattoo Bowler swap. Yep. No further actions. They get their security testing money.
If they want to do it again, I'm happy.
Yeah, it works for us.
I'm actually happy with them running absolutely anywhere here right now. What if they are instead?
Okay, yeah, they trashed the botulus and put a buzzsaw down.
Yeah.
There's
let's
no
start.
triggers. We got a mitosis.
Let's draw once.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
I think we go draw again, Sting and Daniela.
Okay.
Sure. Oh, that was a weird thing you did. I don't know how you did that.
I have no idea either. Let's not do it again. It freaked me out. Okay.
I don't know what we did. Let's try not to do it again. One of my favourite lines from Burn After Reading. An underrated Coen Brothers film, in my opinion.
I don't think
there are many overrated ones.
Yeah.
The Big Lebowski was very, very overrated.
What was, sorry?
The Big Lebowski is not a bad film, but it is an overrated film.
I'm not going to fight with you over this, but you are definitely wrong.
Tributary? A bad film. Okay, I'm not. Yes, please. Let's Tributary. It only costs them a credit, but we might as well. Like, it's going to cost them a credit wherever they do it.
I would like to make them feel the pain of. Well, no, it might cost them a lot more. They'll need to break both of them, right?
Yeah, but they break them with
right. This is
one because they've got
in
K2CP turbine. Yeah, they're just going to imp this agenda. I really hate it. Like, it sort of turns PE's ability off, which I think is what I dislike so much about it. Like, I feel if there was a card that entirely turned Ob's ability off, there would be outrage about it. It doesn't entirely turn off, half turns it off.
Are you saying that PE is the Millwall of netrunner IDs?
I might be. I don't know, Dave. I don't know enough about.
I mean, Millwall are horrible. As I don't know almost nothing about football, but I believe their tagline is "Everybody hates us, we don't care."
Yeah. I think that. Yeah, that is.
I think happily again they can't trash it down yellow, can they?
They can just do what they want. It's frustrating.
Oh. Yeah, it's so they're not stealing the agenda. Yeah, okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that sucks. Oh no. Oh. Okay, yeah. It's a disgusting board state they have there. And there goes another Tatibola, which is like another bit of fun that we've lost. I'm not going to res the Tatibola now. Costs them 1 to break, doesn't it? It costs us 2 to res. And we can't swap it with anything.
I think break it anyway. I think
res it anyway. Okay.
I think we're still on 5. I think 5 is the crucial number to be on.
Okay.
So you might well.
Okay.
Like, it's going to be hard to out econ.
Oh, they're bouncing off it by the looks of it. Interesting.
Oh, cool, because they think we've got ice in HQ. Cool. That's really good. That's excellent.
Yeah.
The best that we could have hoped for there.
That's pretty good. Okay, cool. So we start and we get a virus. Cool. Should we put that in server 2?
Yes, we definitely should. We should put the Sting and then the virus on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they only have 1. They can just go and trash the other thing, can't they? Do you know what?
Draw first.
Okay, let them do it. Let them spend a click doing it. Like mitosis. We want that sting in the Daniela server. Absolutely. Yes. So I think it goes, do it in this order as well.
Yeah.
Install cohort.
Yeah.
In a different server.
Yeah.
In a new server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Install Sting. Install Sting first, and then install my virus.
Okay. Okay. Talk me through your reasoning for that order there.
If they run anywhere else, yes. If they run anywhere else but this server that we care about, they're forced to steal the Sting.
They're what to... do I want to move Tributary?
Yes, because it effectively doesn't matter where it is they're going to... No, leave... Okay, it does matter. It mattered a little bit. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter where it is at all, because they can break it for one. They will break it for one every time.
So they're running this, and they're going to trash the cohort.
Yeah,
which is the outcome you were hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is now they've gotten their first successful run Knobkery trigger.
Yeah.
So
yes,
they approach the server. Yeah. We are going to res my virus.
Oh yeah.
And
oh my goodness.
They will not be. Well, they can actually steal. They can steal it, but they will lose every card in their hand, and I don't think they're going to do that. They're definitely not going to do that. Because, yeah, they cannot do that.
Okay, so we wait till they've confirmed they're continuing the run.
It sort of doesn't matter on this particular board today, but yeah, we res my virus. And we purge our virus counters. Like, just in case they went for different cards.
So we're purging now with the trash ability. We're not waiting for them to access things, because then they could choose the order.
Just in case they access the other one first.
Yep.
No, they don't have to seal it.
Do they not?
No, because it's an optional cost. But they can't trash it.
Okay. Yeah, so they don't pay to steal it. And they can't come back for it because of data loop. Draw. Cool. So we start our turn, and then presumably...
So that right there is what we call tempo. Draw, take 2 credits.
You don't want to score the Sting?
I want to, but I don't have the credits for it.
Good point.
That's why I'm saying draw, take 2 credits.
Okay.
Although, like, those are cards we kind of don't care about them.
Cool. Draw 2 credits.
Yeah. Keep it in hand in case they break a tattoo roll up.
Yeah. Cool.
I think they go in and trash it now. But it's also like it is costing them money. It is like, this is all like, we are chipping away at them.
Yeah. Tributary over to HQ?
Sure. It's not doing anything where it is.
Yeah. And, you know, they won 11 last turn. They're on 7 now. Yeah. cool. They trashed mitosis. That's kind of fine. It would have been sad if they trashed the snake, I think.
Okay, yeah, they're gonna flicker the imp.
Resin enemy. Yes, no.
Please, can we look at what the cards are in archives and how many cards do they have left? They have 2 left in their stack.
They've 2 left in their stack. Yeah. They'll get security testing money here. They won't see anything in archives.
Don't res it right now.
Okay.
Because they're losing one of those cards effectively out of hand anyway.
Yeah. And I think we'd rather have our credits, wouldn't we? Light the fire. Interesting. Well, they're coming for that server, that's for sure. Okay. Another mitosis. So, scoring the sting?
Yes, please.
Okay, trashed a moshing. And trashed another Audrey.
Okay, so that we don't have the credits right now, but at the moment that sting in archives does 4 damage. So we have the credits to res the enemy, is what I mean.
Yeah.
And they are getting very like this Loup deck. I don't know how many labor rights they've got left. Yeah, sure.
Trashing mitosis again.
Yeah, which we don't really care about that. Like it's quite bad in this board state. Yeah, there we go. There's the labor rights.
Yeah. So they're shuffling back in that labor rights as previously mentioned, 2 symbol chips.
Cool. Is there how many labor rights are in the bin?
There was 1, and they've just shuffled it back in, and they've played the other one. So there's 1 removed from the game. There's 1 in the stack.
There's probably 1 in hand, I would guess. I would play 3 labor rights if I was this deck.
Yeah. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
We can't res it, so
yeah. Well, they're getting security testing anyway. Actually, they're not.
Yeah.
So it's just money.
Yeah.
So
don't put that in there this time because they're gonna go and
they're gonna light the fire out.
Yeah, I think we do draw credit.
Yeah. Another an enemy. Nice.
Yeah, that is nice because we're getting very close to the board state where we effectively deck them out.
Yeah.
Unless they've got Ashen Epilogue, in which case I will.
That would be very funny. In a not very funny kind of way.
It's like my issue with Ashen Epilogue isn't that it stops you grinding a deck out. Like you shouldn't. That's not a fun way to play, and I'm glad that doesn't happen. My issue with Ashen Epilogue is that
they're turning around. They're trashing mitosis from hand. It's really funny.
Is that it's another card that makes it feel like you don't make decisions.
We have a decision now, Jessica. Talking decisions.
They're
going to get security testing money here.
Lose 4 cards from hand already.
They've got security testing on archives, so I think we should just let
them. Okay, so let them do it. Let them do it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should have. Never mind. We mainly need money.
Yeah. Okay, we've drawn a Fuji asset retrieval instead of money. Draw credit, or just click 3 credits so we can res 2 enemies in 1 turn, or install an enemy. Yeah,
definitely draw.
Okay. Data loop.
Credit. Install Fuji asset retrieval in the remote.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm intrigued to see how this plays out. NetDad's giving some feedback. If you're against Imp, Daniela has to go on archives. Interesting. Force to steal. No, wait now, because Daniela, this is a goof. Buffer drive though. Don't really get decked. We will move Tributary. Hi NetDad. Sorry, we're getting quite engaged in our game and not reading chat. But glad to have your input. I'll keep a closer eye on it now. They do have lots of money, which I don't like.
Yeah, I don't like all these symbol chips they've got. It's a rough.
Trashing the data loop, that is really sad. That sucks. I would love to have swapped the R&D tattoo bowler for that data loop, but never mind. Okay, they're coming into the remote. This is not a drill.
Yeah. But they've used... Okay, they might flicker an imp here. Yeah, I was expecting them to... To be honest, I was expecting them to do what they're currently doing.
Tell me.
Which is to trash this Fuji. But I think that we can create a situation in which they can't steal it. What we need to do is find our other Hollow Man or our other Moonpool.
Okay. Flickering the imp.
It's just grim. Like this is just grim. Like this kind of endless imp. I'm sad that this deck has survived the meta change so well. We killed them. We won.
An enemy?
Hang on.
Oh.
No. Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. We'd have won if we'd not read it.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
La Costa?
Don't do it. Like maybe they'll go into this. Actually, fuck it. Yeah, kill the Lagosta. Yeah, kill the kill Cloudita. We're never Resident Evil. Never mind.
I'm so sorry, Jessica.
It's okay. We'd have won because they were gonna hit that. But obviously they're gonna jack out now.
Seems not.
Oh shit, we forgot that was in there.
The Fuji?
Yeah, I thought it was a sting.
There was like 3 agendas in there.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, alright. I think we fought the good fight, but like it's absurd to have endless imp. Like absolutely endless imp. It just drives me up the wall when there's so like we actually created the board state that you're meant to deal with it. Didn't deal with it anyway. Because one of our was a bit like a couple of our were a bit porous.
Was So would they have one anyway, with even if I hadn't resed the enemy?
Yeah, I thought that they were going to run into Fuji and Sting and die, and I forgot we still had that weapon in there.
Yeah.
Like it was. Yeah, I thought what was going to happen was they thought they were going to steal Fuji and an unknown card, and not know that unknown card was Sting, and then Sting was going to kill them.
Yeah,
that's what I thought was going to happen. I forgot there was viral weaponization in there.
Yeah.
Also, like if we'd managed to get that an enemy on, if I'd remembered about that viral weaponization, I would have said get the enemy on the. I would have made a number of different moves if I remember the viral weaponization, because it was all based on put enough stuff in archives to kill them when they go there, not thinking out the viral weaponization.
Best Sport says Salam Maleko, and NetDad says the influence spend on Loup is wild. Do you have the energy to look back at this?
No. I think it was a really interesting. Do you have the energy actually?
I think I do. Yeah.
Yeah, go on then, because I think it was a really interesting. Also, assalamu alaikum to you as well, and whoever it was who said that. I know those words, so I'm going to say them out loud.
Okay. I don't think it was the Arabic word. It looked salam alaikum.
Okay, well then those words.
I've saved the replay. let's have a look at it. That was quite a long one, wasn't it? It felt like a more interesting game than the previous, though.
Yeah, and there was I'm gonna kick myself by that mistake. Yeah, like Daniela, the card that we put in, is really not very useful. For a second, I thought we'd start a new game and it was Lou again, and I got really upset.
No, don't worry. So we'll have to rattle through this quite quickly. I'm going to start hitting, because it's a 60-minute game. I'm just going to start hitting forward until we find an interesting point. So we do a mitosis play. They're setting up. They run.
Yeah, I think they had a good opening. We had a good opening. I think we had a really good opening. I think that that's not great. I think like drawing 4 agendas in a row isn't great, but that will happen in a lot of games. Like they're playing with full breaker suite, which is somewhat unusual, I'd say, for these non-pre decks. We found Armor Virus earlier, and that was lucky. Like, if I'm going to whinge about the unlucky stuff, I need to talk about the lucky stuff too. And finding that Armor Virus did make a difference. And this Daniela made a huge difference to the game. It would have won a different matchup, but it made a difference to this game. And I think I'm seeing this matchup enough that there's part of me that says, like, there was never a point I wanted to play Biovolt. There were a lot of points where I would have liked to do another Virus.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the point where we did the thing we didn't in the last game, which was fix our hands.
Yeah. I think the other thing to continue whinging, the other thing I dislike about the deck is the sheer amount of recursion. Feel grim.
It's a lot. I would like to see Imp trash itself when it's empty. I think that would make the deck a lot less unpleasant.
It's going, right? It's going with Dawn.
It is going with Dawn, yeah.
Yeah.
We have to have something a near print though. Like, it feels like such a fundamental part of, like, this and the True Mulch deck, both, like, the bottom falls out of both of them without Imp. Like, they've got nothing.
I think even a little change, like you say, like it trashes itself when it's empty. So unless you have the simul chip there and then, you don't get quite as much value out of it, because right now it's a silly amount of value.
Yeah.
It just feels like a card that was designed to not be on the board forever.
Yeah.
It's on the board forever. Yeah, and they've got the like. This is a rig that I hate. I hate K2CP Turbine a lot as a card. It just makes your like. We at least have a couple of bits of ice that are like always kind of relevant.
Yeah.
Unless it's a hush. I'm almost tempted to say the tributary out and put in a third, or like take something out and put in a third data loop, because it's just so good.
Yes. I mean, this is a matchup where tributary is, borderline, irrelevant.
It's yeah. I think when this was more of an asset deck, I was like thinking the tributary's good because it costs some money every turn.
The thing I really struggled with is I feel that there are with Moonpool and with Cohort, there are fast advanced tricks that the deck has, and we didn't have the ice to ever consider leaving them on the board.
Yeah. This has been my problem with Cohort over and over again. I've cut Cohort and put it back in, I've cut it and put it back in, because I can't protect it. And if you can't protect it, it hangs around for a turn. And like that's, to be honest, it's probably still worth installing for a turn, but like it's not what you wanted to happen. What did they get here? They got our other Daniela, which actually is quite bad. Like, I think those, even though we've lost both of these games, I think the value of those Danielas has been incredibly obvious. Like whoever was saying a little while ago, one of those in R&D would have saved the game. Like they'd have.
No, NetData is saying archives. Danielle archives.
That's what I meant. Archives.
So what did she do on archives?
Stop the agendas being stolen.
Ah, of course. Yes, yeah. So then they can't imp stuff into archive. That's a really good play. That in retrospect, that 100%. That's the play, isn't it? And that would have saved us the game, wouldn't it? That Daniela on there.
Yeah. Like, to be fair, we didn't even see the line like until long after the opportunity was passed.
Yeah.
Mitosis is not as good in this deck as it has been as it was. Like, this was once a traps deck, and it's sort of like, when you go into a place and you can be like, this definitely used to be a warehouse, it's something else now. But like it's got that feel to it. Of like, do I want to play 3 Mitosis? It's great when I draw a Mitosis and an NGO front and something else early.
Yeah.
But if that something else is an agenda, I'd probably lose an agenda turn 1, because people run everything, and this isn't the deck that punishes you for running everything.
Yeah. I feel like this deck could do with enough ice to have 2 remotes, and I would be gladder of having those than having the Mitosis in there. Because we a couple of times we had Charlottes down, and then we got rid of them. We over-installed them, and actually making in the sort of early game when the runner can't confidently go into all the remotes, having a Charlotte over 2 or 3 turns is a huge amount of value.
I think I might keep 1. Like, the thing is, it makes NGO front Here's an incredible play, Dave.
Yeah.
Mitosis, Charlotte NGO front, ice in front of Charlotte NGO front is like almost a game-winning play turn 1.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's a 3-card combo that I'm asking to be in my opening hand, but like when it happens, boy howdy. Oh. But then like by mid game, it's a weird card, right? Because I want it early game.
Yeah.
I don't want it mid game. So then, do I want one of them? Probably not. Yeah. Like, actually, on a non-Loup board today, I'm fine installing an imp with 2 counters. I'm not an imp, Sting with 2 counters on it, because I'll let them take the net damage for a point.
Yeah.
It's just like the fact that, like I say, half of my ID ability has been turned off by what feels like one admittedly expensive card. I'll say that about North Korea. It's an expensive card. Like it's not Hermes where I was like, this is 2 credits and it's like ruining my life.
What's our optimal play here, Jessica? So I think this is the point at which we put the Fuji into the remote. Which
so it's not putting the Fuji into the remote, I'll tell you that much.
Could we put the Lacosta in? Force them through.
And they'd have trashed the Lacosta and it would have done very little for us. Like, it would have forced them to draw 2 cards next turn, you know? Like...
They might have then, but if they...
We should have put the anemone on archives.
So double an enemy on archives.
Yeah, because except we can't res them. Yeah, there's so much of this game where like we had a data loop in hand, we had a Cloud Eater in hand. If we hadn't kept getting all of our econ assets trashed over and over and over again, it would have been a different game.
Yeah.
I don't think we got particularly unlucky in that game, by the way. I think that like the person who played against us played very, very well.
Yes. Yeah.
We got a decent draw.
Yeah.
We made some mistakes here and there.
Yeah.
We also played very well. I think it was hard. Like, it's a hard matchup. But I'm not gonna, for once in my life, I'm not gonna sit here and go, what, can you believe it? Can you believe we got 2 agendas in the opening 28 cards or whatever, and find something to whinge about? I think we got a pretty normal draw. We made some mistakes. We learned some things about playing against this deck. The thing I'm going to whinge about is this deck. That just like...
NetDaz says, my favourite modern PE play is to install Advanced Fuji, then play Bring Them Home with Seamless in hand. Bring Them Home is the one you made me cut out of that Ater deck. What does it do?
Bring Them Home. Bring Them Home is...
cards out of hand of some sort?
Yeah, I think it's put 2 cards on top of the deck, and then at threat 3, I want to say. You can pay 2 to reveal... You reveal the cards, by the way. To reveal a 3rd card and shuffle it into the deck. Then whatever 2 you put on top of the deck, you have the option of paying 2 to be like, yeah, I don't want you to draw those, actually. Like, those can get fucked.
Yeah.
And also you have 1 less card. Like, Bring Them Home, I haven't played it yet, but like it was in the person whose name I keep forgetting, who ran the very good PE asset spam deck.
Is this in Fly to EMEA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch enough of that to know who it was.
I've literally said their name today and I can't remember it right now, but they ran a...
Test Running. Was their name Test Running?
Test Running.
Yeah.
Yeah, Test Running. As a P asset spam enjoyer, like it brought joy to my heart to see it being done well. You know, like And they played it against Kit, and they beat Kit, and I think Kit is the hard matchup for it. And yeah, it was pure tempo PE, and I think tempo PE is like a good thing to exist. Tempo PE has a kill threat in it, because otherwise, why do you care about the tempo? But like, it's a thing, and it's a hard thing, and it's a fun thing, and I'm going to miss it when I'm almost certain they get rid of PE when Dawn comes.
They have to have something else. Once again, I fear it's a late night, so we're not going to have our Jinteki's Orientalist discussion. But like, I think there's a really interesting discussion on the edge of like stuff that we talked about the identity of Jinteki going forward and where it has been and what they might do with it.
I think you can criticize Zaibatsu loyalty very hard. I don't know if there's an NSG card that you can criticize nearly as hard, but there's a lot of kind of like honor and sort of stuff.
It's about. Go on, we're going to do it briefly. It's not about NSG's necessarily take on it. My understanding of PE, sort of Jinteki's colour pie, is that it's sort of inscrutable and weird and sort of treacherous and vindictive, and
surprise attacks.
And so as a canonically East Asian corp, I think that's somewhat problematic. It's kind of a personal thing for me, as like, you know, as you know, and maybe some other people who watch us know, my partner is Chinese and grew up Chinese, and I met her in China, and I think that when people find or perceive people from that part of the world, Westerners perceive people from that part of the world as inscrutable and weird, generally they're seeing their own incomprehension reflected on themselves rather than an analysis of the cultures over there.
My boyfriend's Japanese, and he is inscrutable and weird, but that's because he's autistic. So we're okay there.
Yeah. Obviously there are inscrutable and weird people everywhere, but I don't think it's an East Asian characteristic. It's something that's considered to be and incorrectly so.
Yeah, I've never, like, I'm aware that it's a stereotype. Maybe it's one so I was about to be like, you know, I've never experienced that as a stereotype. That's the sort of thing people say when they have the stereotype and so little awareness of their own privilege and et cetera, that they're just not. I just don't see race, Dave. That's how I do it. I just don't see it.
Yeah, that's the trick, right? But yeah, and I'm not having a pop at NSG's take on it. I think that there was an original conception of Jinteki. This is from my very like shallow understanding of the early game, that isn't has put it in a bit of a hole in terms of the colour pie and made it quite difficult to iterate on, and as slightly problematic routes. And I would love to see Jinteki resurgent with some interesting stuff. It's that time of night where we're falling over backwards.
I was going to say, I kind of want to play inscrutable, though. I kind of like, that's a style I really like, of being like, it can be a real gambler's game of like, you know, like with that thing of like, we're going to put these two cards out. If they don't run them, we win. If they do run them, we lose. But we're probably going to lose if we don't do this. So let's do it. And we lost. But like, that to me is part of the thrill of Netrunner.
I was very excited this evening at the prospect that we'd set up a situation where our opponent was going to run and die. Like that was the most fun part of the evening for me. It's not a very fun thing to be on the receiving end of, but it is exciting. The prospect that somebody might do that, like the win might be just there. You know, it's not like you have to score out several agendas. It might be like, boom, there we go. That's the game. And
I do like that.
Yeah.
I think runners often don't like that. Runners are often like, I was doing something there. Like,
yeah.
And I understand it from both points of view. I really do. Yeah, this has been really fun. This little bit of tech that I'm using, I think is an improvement.
We haven't had. We started before we were streaming, dealing with several technical problems, and those have not reoccurred since we made the switch. So that's good.
Yeah, that's true, Dave. We didn't have a single technical problem on the stream tonight.
Hey.
Just kidding.
You had me for about half a second there, and then I was like, All
right, babe. And all right, audience. If you've had half as much fun watching as we've had making the show, then we've had twice as much fun as you. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We will be streaming next week, possibly on Tuesdays, but if not, soon moving to Tuesdays rather than Thursdays.
Yeah, soon moving to Tuesday.
Yeah, either way, catch you soon, and thanks very much for spending the evening with us. Bye.